This is WFYI News Now. It's October 7th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Indy residents get new trash bins as city changes trash collection companies. IPS leaders push back against the idea of an all-charter school system. And Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez now faces a felony count after an alley fight in downtown this weekend.
We are literally talking about people fighting over a dispute about where people are parking, and it resulted in someone receiving just incredibly significant injuries.
Those stories are coming up, but first. The Indianapolis City County Council approved next year's budget last night. Samantha Horton reports even for councilors that approved the bill, several expressed it was doing the best in a bad situation.
The budget is the largest to date, hitting $1.7 billion. It also comes with expected losses in funds, following state lawmakers' cuts to property taxes. After lively discussion, the vote was approved mostly along party lines. Councilors opposed said they should have more say in crafting the budget that Mayor Joe Hogsett submitted. But even some Democrats like Jared Evans, who supported it, said it was not a time of celebration due to the property tax decrease.
It's frustrating. I mean, even for those of us who voted yes, we know this is probably not the best budget for our citizens and our residents, but it's a part of the job of what we're supposed to do.
Republican Councilor Michael Paul Hurt said next year's budget will have to consider cutting more, as lost revenue from property tax will continue. I'm Samantha Horton.
Some Indianapolis residents will notice their trash bins were replaced starting yesterday. Jeremy Rubin has more.
The city of Indianapolis is changing the company it contracts with for solid waste management. Lakeshore Recycling Services will take over trash pickup for residents serviced by Republic or WM starting in the new year. But starting Monday, new trash bins will start to be distributed. The new gray bins are free and should be used as soon as they're received. After customers get the new bin, they've been asked to leave the old one empty on the curb on their normal trash pickup day. The city plans to distribute the new bins over the coming weeks. More information on the transition can be found online at indy.gov. I'm Jeremy Rubin.
Indianapolis Public Schools leaders are pushing back against the idea of turning the city's schools into an all-charter system. The Indianapolis Local Education Alliance was created by state lawmakers and is chaired by Mayor Joe Hogsett. It is required to make recommendations on how IPS and city charter schools could be governed and share resources. In a letter to the Alliance, the IPS board rejected the idea of eliminating traditional district schools. The board said 2 decades of charter schools haven't raised student achievement enough to justify such a shift. Charter schools are publicly funded and free to attend, but they are privately managed. IPS board members also called for the district to keep a democratically elected board, a moratorium on new schools, and tighter limits on who can authorize charters. The board's demands come ahead of ILEA's next public meeting on October 22nd. And for our final story today, Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez now faces a felony count after an alley fight in downtown Indianapolis left him hospitalized. Dylan Pierce-McCoy reports Sanchez was previously charged with 3 misdemeanors over the weekend.
Sanchez, a 38-year-old former NFL player, approached a 69-year-old truck driver who was parked behind a downtown hotel and shoved the man against a wall, according to court records. In the ensuing fight, Sanchez was stabbed and the truck driver's face was severely lacerated. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said his office filed a new felony charge Monday because of the severity of the victim's injuries.
We are literally talking about people fighting over a dispute about where people are parking, and it resulted in someone receiving just incredibly significant injuries.
The felony charge of battery resulting in serious bodily injury carries a possible penalty of 1 to 6 years in prison and a fine up to $10,000. The truck driver was not charged. I'm Dylan Pierce-McCoy.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.